Okay, hello. I am the self-critical idiot, and there's a lot of feelings and thoughts going around me. So this is probably going to be a little difficult first take. I might revise it later. It'd be wise if I did, but I'm, the self-critical idiot. So, I mean, revision is an option, but I'm not sure if I'm really willing to put in the effort for this. So, so basically, this idea for this channel is like, hi, first video. All right, first video of channel. But yeah, so the oh boy, the should I talk about the idea or like the story behind the idea? Because stories seem to resonate with people a lot better, but it's not much of a story really. Well, I guess is from a spout of criticality, because um, there's like some recent controversy or something where a big YouTuber um, they they got swatted. A SWAT team came to their place and stuff, and like somebody called and said like they were a threat or something, even though as far as I know they like weren't really a threat. I mean, they still like streamed and shit, so I assume they weren't like arrested or anything. I don't really know how the process goes, but the video that I've learned this from was said that like people can end up dead during a SWAT raid thing. So when people's lives are on the line, it's kind of a serious thing. And as far as I know, it was like, I don't know the reasons for whoever it is that like called it in, but the current controversy surrounding them, I don't know if I should even like say who it's about or what it's about, but it's most of the drama revolving around the popular YouTuber is either lying or just getting things wrong, because from like being wrong and like from my point of view, it's getting things wrong and dodging responsibility for getting things wrong, instead of, admitting that they were wrong. But yeah, so not really anything like serious that I know of that someone that like having the SWAT team like break your door down seems way out of line. But I was thinking about seen a lot of videos about criticisms about the big YouTuber, about their drama. And, you know, I assume that most people would do the same thing, like make videos about the SWAT thing, maybe, and, you know, say the same thing of basically it was out of line, they don't condone that, and all this stuff. And it made me like I would do the same, but it made me think, like, you know, how easy it is to just like virtue signal like that and like then go back to like business as fucking usual, you know. And it just kind of disgusted me a little bit. Just say, hey, that's wrong, you shouldn't do it. But I'm pretty sure that the people that like hate this popular YouTuber probably like reap the benefits, I guess, regardless of the fact that they don't condone it or whatever, and they can just say that and like, yeah. And like I could do the same thing, you know, especially since I'm not involved on either sides of the drama. And I could name names, you know, name the popular YouTuber so that like, and especially in the title and thumbnail, so that people can fucking click on it, and I get views and shit just by, you know, covering the drama, the same drama, and saying the same things. But and that kind of led me to this idea of like, I don't know if it's clear, it probably isn't, but either like from there it spiraled a little bit to criticizing myself because, you know, I'm not really doing anything like good or whatever for anyone with basically anything. But like I can say that like, oh, like swatting someone is, you know, not cool and shit, and just not do anything good or kind or generous towards the popular YouTuber who's probably like incredibly fucking stressed out, you know? And I could just go back, I can just virtue signal saying, hey, that's not right, and go back to just business as usual because fucking I don't actually care. Because, you know, I don't care enough to like bother to do something like that. But and like, yeah, right there. See what I mean? I'm like being critical of myself after being critical of, you know, our people or whatever and shit. And so, Self-Critical Idiot, the idea was born, where what I could do with this channel is I can be critical of, you know, the shit that I don't like. And after that, I can be critical of myself. And hopefully in a way that connects to, you know, how I'm being critical of everyone else. But like, so all right, I could probably like draw a little something, but yeah, shit, yeah. How big can we make this thing? Let's make it gray. Let's make it grayer. That's a bit better on my eyes. All right. So can I please zoom in? Yes, thank you. Once. And cons. I actually did this in my head, so I actually have a plan a little bit. Also, my plan for this video is to go for an hour. Have all my videos go for about an hour. At least, you know, as a stopping point. But yeah, so for this for this channel idea, cons would be fucking easier if I just danger. Why is this so fucking big? Oops. I swore. This is now not safe for kids. I swore. But you know, I don't know if kid like I don't know. Maybe teens could handle negativity and shit more, but danger. I don't know. So the potential danger, please tell me it's not the same. Okay. It's the same kind of so I'm putting myself in danger of for my critical takes. I can get like the least amount is criticism. Oh wow. And I'm supposed to criticize myself. Stop it. And the like, why did it go to 10.5? Like, hello? Thank you. That is so weird. The most likely danger would be death threats. I don't know if I'd be able to handle those. Most likely not. Most likely not. But obviously there's a lot worse that could happen than death threats. I could be swatted. But again, this is just most likely what's most possible. Most likely probable would be death threats. Man, I cannot really talk. It is like 3 in the fucking morning, so I picked a good time to fucking do this. Anyway. So these are my thoughts. Once, what do I want to do? Speak, mind, / share my feelings / beliefs. I'd be able to do that. And I guess benefits. Not really once, but just benefits. There's one that I'll actually go into a bit more critically, but protection. But what's the other one? There's another benefit. It's probably okay. So I can't actually put it in thoughts, but I'll go over. I'll do this protection thing. So what I mean by protection is this whole self-critical part. Because if I'm critical, like, okay, so here's some of my understanding of how people work. And it's part of my being critical of like everyone and everything. So here goes. So if let's say I punch someone in the face. People like, what would people think? People would think I'm an asshole and would treat me poorly because of it. Maybe even think that I deserve to be punched in the face myself. If I punch myself in the face, though, suddenly, instead of, being an asshole, people treat... Oh, I dropped my lid of my water bottle. Instead of being treated like an asshole, people would be like, treating me with sympathy, be like, oh, you need to get help and stuff, and like, okay. But in the other scenario, they don't do that. Even though it's the same action of punching someone, if I punch myself for some reason, there's something wrong with me. Like, if I punch someone else in the face, it could be like, wow, what's wrong with you? I hate you. Go fuck yourself. If I punch myself in the face, like, oh my God, there's something wrong with you. Get some help. You should love yourself and all this shit. So If I'm critical of myself, then, you know, it'll tap into that and like, and so I have a kind of protection. And yes, I'm I'm spelling this out. Like, that's technically bad for me to like play on that, but I'm also exposing it as a criticism of people, of everyone, including myself. So yeah. Um so and like maybe I can also be criticizing of that, of like criticizing people's like sympathy and stuff, but like to be honest, I'm not really doing this for sympathy. Like like I don't know. I guess I would kind of be playing the victim, but I'd be playing the victim by basically being my own abuser. So I can like legitimately abuse myself in order to play the victim, but the purpose is either for like sympathy or protection. And like I don't really know how I feel about the getting sympathy thing, because like it like there are ways to play the victim and get sympathy without having to like hurt myself or be critical of myself, or say bad stuff about myself or whatever fuck. But but that's also part of playing the victim, being all like boo-hoo. But the thing is, like, I don't know if I should discourage sympathy, because like what I'm really after is to protection, for people to not treat me like how they treat bad people. But and like if people treat me with sympathy, then usually that means I have like feedback that those people aren't going to treat me like shit. So I guess seeing sympathy is kind of like a positive signal that I have protection, but I don't necessarily need it or really care for it. But I don't know. I don't really know like what to do about the sympathy, because I can be critical of that too. I can be critical of people's sympathy. I mean, fucking I've had a thought about that too, where like someone would comment and say like you should love yourself, and in my head I criticize that as like, So, I guess, do I have time? Do I have time to fucking do that hypothetical and fucking criticize any, like, a potential sympathy comment? I got 35 minutes. Okay, let's do this. Let's fucking do this. So, like, I don't really trust that because, like, why should I why exactly would somebody say that? Like, let's think about why someone would say that. I mean, is that like supposed to be some kind of rule where people should love themselves? What about bad people, you know? Like Hitler would, like, everybody hates Hitler, right? So would anybody tell Hitler that he should love himself despite the fact that everybody hates him? You know, would you tell the people that you hate, your enemies, that they should love themselves? I can only assume that anyone telling me that I should love myself is doing so because they either, you know, actually care about me, or they just don't actually know me and they assume that I'm a decent person or something. And so they're telling me I should love myself. Or or they just want me to shut the hell up, to stop doing this behavior, which, you know, fair, I guess, about that point. But because if I love myself, then I wouldn't be so self-critical. But also, if I, like, the thing is, like, if I don't do the self-critical portion, I'm just being critical of the things I don't like about, you know, people in the world and everything, then it seems like I'm the asshole because I'm criticizing someone else or something else, and I'm not criticizing myself. And that'd make, you know, again, that'd make me look like the asshole. And as the asshole, the bad person, people will justify treating me like shit. And, you know, if I was like a traditional asshole, people will know what to do about me. But with what I'm fucking acting like now, like, you know, the thing about, you know, self-inflicted abuse or something, like, being critical doesn't have to be like abuse, but like, you know, punching myself in the face or whatever, like, that can be confusing because I'm both the abuser and the victim. So we're supposed to hate the abuser and sympathize with the victim. And if I'm both, how the fuck are you supposed to do both at the same time, you know? I mean, maybe people could do that. I mean, if I'm both, and so I'm giving out mixed signals on how they should treat me, then maybe they can treat me like both so they can give me mixed signals about whether I have protection or not. I mean, that definitely sounds fair and morbidly hilarious. Morbidly hilarious. But yeah, so that's how people are. They justify treating bad people poorly. And or yeah, like justify treating the people they hate with cruelty, which I'm no better, but it's part of a criticism that I feel strongly about is where the two people that I respect the most are Jesus and Martin Luther King Jr., and it's because they preached about loving our enemies. And I don't see a lot of that happening in the world. And I don't know. Maybe it's only a Christian thing because like, Jesus and MLK was, a priest or pastor. I don't know those things, but he was a Christian. And so like that's where those views come from, but like I like it seems like there are a bunch of Christians around as far as I know, but I don't hear much along the lines of people preaching about loving our enemies or even seeing the deeds of that happening. And I see a lot of justifying doing or saying cruel things about the people we hate. And I understand that's like human nature, but that's kind of what Hitler did, That's why Todt was so bad about Hitler. He would dehumanize Jews and from there justify any cruelty that he done towards them. And I've just realized that like not exactly at the time, but over my life that that evil isn't a just Hitler thing. It's a human thing. You don't have to be a white supremacist. You don't have to particularly hate Jews to try and justify treating people you hate like shit. So, and yeah, so but of course like I kind of don't know what to say now, but like I want to be more critical, and when I get stressed out, usually I fucking do. I really do. But what I've also learned is that hatred and anger is a thing that we feel when we desire to protect ourselves from some kind of pain. And it really makes sense for us to hate the people that have caused us great pain or even great fear, to make us think that we are susceptible to just at any time just a whole lot of like pain and threats, or like being swatted. And like it's kind of like an animal instinct type thing of like aggression, where you gotta protect your territory and stuff, and like in general, the more dangerous you look, the more people will leave you alone, because they don't want to, be in danger. And well, protection is a pretty big thing for me as well. And I kind of go about it in like a very weird and fucked up way, with, attacking myself instead of others. But in lines with the protection thing, like attacking myself isn't the only thing I do to protect myself. What I also do to protect myself is try to be a fucking good person. Yeah, so I'm going to be critical of my goodness, all right? So I don't do that many good things, at least in my point of view, but it makes sense to try to make people think I'm a good person, because then they don't treat me like shit, because they don't see me as a bad person, and that protects me. So basically, any good deed that I've done for people could be an attempt at manipulating them to not treat me like shit. And so, like, to be even more critical, the good things that I do for people are, I don't sacrifice that much, and I only do it when it's convenient. I don't really go out of my way to do good things for people. And if I did, I guess you could say that that'd be like a big sacrifice. I guess it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand. But yeah, and so what do those what do those traits kind of say about me? Am I actually a good person, or am I just, using the system to get what I want? And that's the kind of fucking same, the same dilemma between the book of Job, or Job, however it's pronounced. I usually go interchangeably, because I don't actually know what his name's actually pronounced, but I would like to go with Job, That way it doesn't like cause confusion with the word job, even though it's spelled the same. So, but I could still slip into saying job anyway. But that's basically the same dilemma with the Book of Job, is where God's all like, "Hey, look at this guy. He's pretty great, isn't he?" And Satan's like, "Well, hold on there. Like you're blessing this guy, and he's he's because he's good, right? So he's like profiting, and see, the thing is, maybe he's not actually good, and he's just using the system to get these good things. And if you just let him suffer and stuff, then maybe we'll actually see how good he is. Like how good he is. Is he still gonna be a good person? And like after like him having a very shitty day or week or something like that, maybe he'll curse you and shit. So yeah, he suffers and shit, and it's I don't know, it kind of comes close, but he definitely, Job definitely has a struggle, and with frustration and stuff, and he presents his case to God and demands like an answer, and God doesn't really answer. He more or less shows Job that God's wisdom is greater because he oversees everything in the universe, and Job's limited experience wouldn't understand how to run the complexity of the whole universe in like justice and stuff, and just asks Job to like trust him. But the thing is, I have actually cursed God dozens of times. Just cursed him for my existence, even though like my life isn't that terrible. It's pretty decent. It's just there are days where I get really stressed out because I don't exactly know how to handle my life, despite the fact that it's decent. So, but yeah, like I've cursed God, so I've technically proven that I'm not actually a good person. So but yeah, I really like I really want to say that me doing good for other people is just a form of protection. And in reality, like that's, yeah, it's true, but also like it is a lot harder for me to try and do good for our people when I feel like my needs are not met. When it feels like me doing good for our people gets in the way of whatever it is I'm needing, I get upset about that and angry to where I would like to protect myself from pain. I also don't want to hurt other people because I don't want to be like Hitler and, try and justify being cruel to other people. I want to love my enemies, despite the fact that's hard. So I guess where the fuck does that aggression go? It goes towards me, goes towards the self. So I guess that's another explanation of my behavior, which kind of protects me. It's like the best thing I can do, I guess. Though there are probably healthier ways I can deal with my frustration and stuff. I do have a therapist that I try and talk to. So but yeah, so I used to I still do, but there's a social media platform that I do most of my lashing out at the world on. But some of the people I care about, one in particular, has found it. They're on it now, and they've said that they don't like seeing me self-deprecate, which a little bit of a funny joke. My brain apparently failed me and was about to say self-defecate, and that amuses me, but what amuses me more is the joke of like, yeah, of course, self-defecate. I mean, I'm shitting on myself. Metaphorically. And I just had to share that because that's just too good of a joke. But he said that he doesn't like seeing me be down on myself. And yeah, I have our like social media bullshit, but I haven't been doing on there because of that kind of thing where like I just want to yell out my fucking feelings and shit because I don't want to actually feel my pain and things people in general do and say piss me off. And I'm no better than the people I hate, but like I want to avoid like having talks with people that I know actually care about me, even though like I've been with myself my whole fucking life, so technically I should know better than most people about what kind of fucking person I am. I admit there's logical ways for there to be blind spots. People can probably know things about myself that I don't know or I didn't take notice of. But in the very least, I know myself a lot more so than other people because I experienced myself a lot more than other people have. But yeah, so that's another benefit thing. I don't know how to fucking label it, but freedom. Yeah, maybe I can I can hopefully not like lash out, but hopefully I'll be free to be critical of people, the world, reality itself. Sometimes God, but like, that's a struggle, and that's a complicated struggle and a half that I don't even have time to like touch up on that shit, but like I'd have a place where they haven't found out about me yet, so I'd have the freedom to like be critical of myself and explore some things, I guess, that the people that actually care about me would be uncomfortable with. So and yeah, I guess I should run this by a therapist. And maybe I should. I'm just reluctant because I got a new therapist. We had a few sessions. And I don't know how I feel about her being like, calling yourself a scumbag, but that mean, or like some of the things that I've told her about, just like thinking what would a better person do in that situation is she said something about like that implies that you're not a good person and I don't want you thinking like that. Like my whole identity is that I'm not a good fucking person. And my whole thing is being critical of good people and goodness and shit and like not trusting good people because people sometimes use that as a fucking pedestal where like I'm good, I'm right, you're bad, you're wrong, so I can shit on you and everything. I'm better than you because I'm a good person, you're a bad person. Like that, you know, Hitler dynamic. But I'm pretty sure Hitler saw himself as like a good person or like who deserved to be like treated like highly. I mean, fucking one of the things people like, he made it where people had to greet each other with Hail Hitler, as far as I've heard. So like, that kind of seems like an egotistical, narcissistic thing or some shit. But and I'm critical of you know, the idea of being a good person, because if good people are going to be that way, and if good people are going to act, you know, like Hitler, then why should I believe that people are good people? And I realize I am no better than them. And in fact, one of the ways I try to stay away from that is thinking I am no better than the people I hate. Because, you know, Hitler thought he was better than the people he hates. And that's how he justifies cruelty. So, to not be like him, I should see myself as being not better than the people I hate, to see myself as being not better than Hitler. So, here we fucking are. But, I was gonna put something else in the danger. Criticism, death threats. Shit. There was another thing, danger, that was in my mind. I forgot what I was talking about when I made that box. I got 4 minutes. There's freedom. I was talking about the freedom thing. Danger would be criticism. That'd be negative. Like, I guess there can be constructive criticism, but not many people, I feel like, can do that well. I know I have a bad time, like, building people up. I'm more experienced with tearing every fucking thing down, especially when I'm stressed. But a danger for having the self-critical idiot channel is what the thing that I was avoiding, of like having tackle like people being sympathetic. I mean, yeah, I guess that'd be a unique-ish thing, I guess. What's not unique though is possibly getting carried away. Sometimes when my emotions and stress get the better of me, it's easy for me to get carried away. It's just, I don't usually get carried away in public. I usually wait until I get home, and then I can't fucking control my anger and stuff. And so I get carried away at home. Some of the bad daydreams or whatever I have, like, spill out into, like, I'm actually saying the lines out loud that I imagine myself saying, and it's like, yikes. But I definitely don't want to get carried away with like, I mean, I was able to get away with it on that one social media platform because most of the time people don't respond to those messages, though some random people have on like the most recent ones. And it's kind of concerning to me now that I think about it. Because they were kind of odd. They weren't exactly giving me sympathy. They were basically just adding their 2 cents, their feelings to the things I said, which I can kind of understand. Like, I've probably done the same fucking thing before. I've probably done the same thing several times to a friend of mine. But I can understand like wanting our own feelings and beliefs heard. So, but it just seems I didn't respond to any of them because they seemed out of place, or I just didn't understand what they were talking about. But it is kind of concerning. But yeah, I guess I'll put this one down here because it's not unique. I mean, any of this fucking stress that I could get. Oh, I remember what fucking threat was. Now, being popular. Yeah, I know I didn't spell that fucking wrong. Yeah. And it's been an hour. But I'll try to explain real quickly how being popular is a danger, because like I'll actually name a few so that there's actual examples, but though it kind of like this, it's a danger to name some, but like how like basically what happens to popular people is that there's controversy and there's scary shit that can happen to them, whether people like them or not. And I'm scared of that happening. I do not believe I can handle being fucking popular, you know? I don't think I can handle this channel, like, possibly just, you know, going viral somehow. And I don't actually believe like it would do that on my own merits, but like I've seen people before where like some big YouTuber, Twitch streamer like raids a smaller channel and then like they become big, or mentions a thing and they become big. So, but also some big people, big channels fall. Like people are starting to not like Thor, Pirate Software. People are starting to not like Jordan Peterson, who's like a big philosopher thing, but like there's reasons behind those. And I'm not saying that those reasons are illegitimate. Then there's like Bill Cosby, where people know what happened with him, and I don't have anything that bad, but like being popular just seems stressful. And there's that whole like don't meet your heroes thing, and like I know that I'm not that great, and I don't mean that as like morally. Like I admit I am human, and you know what I don't like about being human? I'm flawed, and I have darkness in my nature. And you know what? That's true of everyone. And so I kind of don't like, I definitely don't like that people have darkness within them too. And just, yeah, so but being popular just magnifies all that shit, you know? If you make a mistake, people are talking about it. If you go out of control or something, people talk about it. And then the more people talk about it, the more that it can spiral, you know, more stress being piled on. So being popular is a danger. Like I feel like if I was popular in the past, I would not be, it would probably get in the way of most of my development into being maybe a decent person, maybe. I don't know. I'm still critical of that, but anyway, video's gone on long enough. This is a self-critical idiot sounding off. Bleh. I guess leave your thoughts below in the comments. I don't know. I haven't gotten this far, and you know, maybe I shouldn't go as far, but who knows? This is just something I'm starting, and I guess the best thing I can get from it is I don't know. Maybe I can be, maybe people can turn it into some kind of constructive criticism or something. Or maybe I'm just like trying to work with my shadow, where this is part of the darkness inside me is just breaking down everything into being the worst possible fucking shit. So I'm the best thing that could happen is I work through my criticisms and I don't know, just become better somehow. Like maybe accept them, learn how to live with them. And I'm hoping that, I don't know, for some reason, I'm thinking like the best thing would be some kind of like loving criticism. I don't know how that'd work, but I don't know. This is a fucking experiment, I guess. And I don't even know, I don't know the future, so I don't know what else I'm gonna bitch about, but I've said most of like what this channel is going to be about, and how I am, what kind of person I am, and some of my big faults. So here's to hopefully getting doing better in the future. Take care.